Hello. My goodness, why? Why? No, you should be able to now. I just fixed it. I had to completely deactivate the mic. So were we basically just in cinematic mode there? Okay. Why? Why did Windows 11 sucks. It sucks so bad. And October is coming up really fast for official end of support for Windows 10. And it's unfortunate because I had my virtual audio working just fine for a very long time in Windows 10. And it like cannot remember how to do these basic things. I mean, I got a complex setup, but like, come on. Why does it have to get reset all the time? I mean, I should know better. I should know to check for it at this point, you know, but. Okay, was it not working at all or did it cut out on me? Was I just talking post-cinematic saying hello to everybody and talking about what has happened to myself this whole time? That's great. Okay, well, fantastic. Just talking to myself, posted in Mac. I was talking to myself from the second you two popped in there. So, Adia, Kung, AC, I was talking to you for a while. Wanderer, welcome as well. It was a good back and forth. Like I was jiving with the rhythm of the conversation that you were having with each other, basically. Just you weren't hearing my contribution to it. So so I'm doing well. Cause I said, so you, what did Adia say? Adia said something like it's 90 out. And I said it's 72 here, and I put a hoodie on before the stream. And then in response, you're like, you're built different, but I guess she was talking to Kung. But I was confused. So I assumed the mic was working at that point. Just the timing of those comments. Okay. Once you finish Riverrun, you should post a city tour in normal channel. I will definitely do that for sure. The other thing that I want to do, I'll start over again, kind of. A lot of things have happened. One of the things I want to do a tutorial on is how to 150% industry to get crazy cash. I lied in the description. I said 400 million. We're only at 374 because I was at 375 and then I spent millions on Chirpwick and a bunch of other stuff. But we'll get there. But obviously the town is financially successful, and I want to do a video on the industry's balance because there's like a very specific ratio that you can set up to make crazy money. And I didn't care about traffic or anything. But speaking of, check this out. 107,000. We're at 90%. That's not bad. Traffic is pretty clear. One of the few hot spots over here in the coal line Francese is this OG spot. But like, even when it's not backed up, it's still like, oh, it's slow. It's a terrible intersection. Here's 5% off your city traffic. That's one of the worst. I'm looking to incorporate more of these buildings. So over here in the industries area, I'm trying to fill out more of the space with like some of the uniques, or in this case, what is this, a water heating plant? Yeah. And this one is the boiler station. So like, they're not even hooked up to heating pipes. They're not turned on. They are hooked up to the water for whatever reason, but who cares? But I want to start using more things like this as decoration. This is what the industrial evolution looks like, all the way upgraded. So it doesn't have this disgusting smokestack everywhere. That's reserved for the ice cube factory. That's the one building that still has that. $39.39. Anyone who doesn't call $39.39 4,000 they're lying. You know that, Adia. So it's interesting that these buildings like look much cleaner. They almost look like the wall-to-wall office buildings, but a little bit smaller. They look great, but they do kind of pollute the area from the satellite view just as much, which is I think is unfortunate because like down here it doesn't look as bad. Then again, it doesn't help that I have like pavement everywhere, and you know, but that's kind of what it would be like, right? I'm overusing the aprons in some spots. Are the buildings turned off so you get to a billion faster? Yes. So they're all uniques. All the things that you see turned off are uniques, and some of them are on, but most of them are not. They're really just for decoration, and especially over here where I just plopped all these down, I'm kind of like making a palette over here, and I think I had started to explain as New York City was being built up from the southern tip to the north. And actually, is that when I figured out that the mic wasn't working? Or was that after? Okay. Anyways, as it was being built up from south to north, and those different pockets came about, you had two different distinct pockets of skyscrapers concentrated kind of around the park, but you have the financial district more to the south and then more central. But you see this giant gap in the skyline where, you know, there's skyscrapers on one side, skyscrapers on the another, nothing in the middle. And I kind of wanted to echo that a little bit. If we come way out here, not with the bulldozer, you know, and again, ignore that pocket on the right of skyscrapers there. We're going to see a concentration on the right where this skyscraper is. That one right there. There's going to be one concentration right about there. We're going to move this tall tower, and then the other concentration is going to be somewhere right around here. So we'll have kind of two pockets of skyscrapers there. We're going to mix and match some of those buildings in there. But yeah, that's why, especially the New York City skyline has that gap. The original grid plan for 1811, like, it only made it up to the south side of the park, and they didn't really start planning the expansions beyond that really until much later. And when they did, that ended up being a second financial sector or a second zoning sector that allowed for giant skyscrapers to be built. Otherwise, there were some restrictions. Like, it may seem, you know, if you're from the suburbs, it may seem like endless skyscraper, but it's, you know, it's not. It's just a lot of tall apartment buildings and then a bunch of skyscrapers. But that's why they're in those pockets when you look from the side perspective. Empire State's that second one? I don't know. They're definitely some of these are modeled after real buildings. The aprons are looking good. They're coming in handy. Thanks, Kung, for sticking with that, and AC for reminding me to stick with it. But I'm okay. So yeah. So what else has happened here? So if you take a look, I've started to fill in on this side of the highway, and I'm trying to figure out where the next exit goes. So there's going to be some more suburban sprawl here, but it's going to cut off, and there'll be some wooded area before the oil area. But we can see how it's kind of all interconnected now, and now there's a road that basically runs almost direct from the oil over here to the forestry area. Here's the other thing that's new. This is gonna move, so don't mind that. But this is the one of the shopping malls, and if you orient the road this way, I gotta try rotating the parking lots the other way because it doesn't make sense that people would park far away. But they do. They park wherever they are. Basically, like they want to get out of their car as fast as possible, and they don't think about the walking being longer, which is a little weird, but that's okay. So I've got a one-way road all the way through here, and there is a couple different entrances on the mall. So there's plenty of people that park on this side, which is okay. It fills up a little bit. And then these lots as well, because there's an entry point over here. So some people will park there. And then again, there's an entry point over this way. And so this last little bit of parking is a little bit underserved because there's no entry point over here. They've already parked. But that's the mall. If anyone knows in chat, please. I hope somebody knows Lone Pine Mall and the significance behind that. Shopping Malls DLC is a good pack. Yeah, the box stores, they are good. Back to the Future reference, absolutely. So it is the Twin Pines Mall at the beginning of the movie. He goes back in time, crashes into a tree, a small tree in the way into a barn, which was one of the pines. So later on, when returning to the future, it's the Lone Pine Mall. And sure enough, what do we have over here? A lone pine. So there you go. The Lone Pine Mall with the shopping. It's unfortunate that the shopping lines do disappear. Like, I think I've made this complaint before. Like, keep an eye on like this detail here, like the bins. Like, you could still, I don't know how that comes across on YouTube, and I don't know why I'm still on Starting Soon. But like you can see those details forever on the warehouse. But the parking lines still not there. It's kind of crazy. I feel like they messed up the wow, why can I not think of the LOD? The LOD, right? The commitment to putting just one pine. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you'll notice the lot around here, there are conifers and green trees and spruce, but there are no pine. There's a single pine on the lot on the carefully manicured front lawn right there. Parking spots are individual objects. It's all right. What are we gonna do? You know, look at what it does to us with traffic. But I still think like you could load a better low res texture. If I can still see this line of air conditioning from space, there should be a little bit of a squiggle, a little bit of a gray and white squiggle. I feel like even if you substituted it with a line of that thickness, like it would be fine. Just like the vertical lines separating the rows even, you know? Again, like here's my argument for that, right? Like, look at these bins that you can see from space. Like, I can still see the detail of the individual crates. You could count the individual crates. Those are no bigger than a car. Like those are not like box truck crates. Like those ironically, those ones that just come into view right there. Like, that's just a problem with how they're loading the level of detail on the asset. So that's not a pine tree though. I mean, Jay, I don't disagree with you, but hear me out. As far as the game is concerned, it is. They think that's what a pine tree looks like in Sweden. Which is unfortunate. I feel bad for them. So that's the Lone Pine Mall. That's one of the additions for sure. I'm slowly but surely filtering more residential in here. Gonna be more low density. And then I think I mentioned this, is there was a bunch of random businesses kind of zoned up out here on the edge, all the way around the coast. And we're getting rid of some of that space. So this is just a nice little two-way highway, very few intersections. Got rid of the key wall over here. A little bit more natural of a drop off. I can hear my daughter still screaming. Her and my wife are playing it's summer vacation. They're playing the Hive on Minecraft. So they play versus modes, and she's just like, it's birthday week, so she's gonna get away with all kinds of stuff this week. But they're still at it. But I love this coastal road. We're gonna fill this this in with some trees. Look at these repetitive houses on the corner. You were all so jealous. Had to have the same mansion. Little houses made of ticky-tacky. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Let's find out. Let's find out who lives in the ticky-tacky here. Or who's visiting at least. Sterling Campbell! Well, hold on a second. We need music. I had a short playlist on to get us started. But let's get going. Let's hit this gem. Okay. Shuffle on? I think we are. Okay. This is Sterling Campbell from the Briar Rose residence. An expert at the University Media Lab going to work. Okay. Let's see how they get to work. Nope. Yep. Down here. Follow. Okay, don't make us all dizzy, Sterling. Well, sorry to hear that, Blake, but I'm hoping you're getting better, and I'm glad you're enjoying Riverrun and this nonsense. There's probably some pain meds involved if you're enjoying it, let's be honest. I think some people just, most people are here because they couldn't figure out where to put the TV remote. I don't know. Taking the school bus, okay. Wait. Does anyone have a problem with what just happened there? Dude just walked up to that bus stop that had like 8,000 people in one body mass. I bet that stunk. I bet that was just like a stinky line. I don't care that it's only 66 degrees out. Like, that many people in that small of a space waiting for a bus, waiting to be one of the 30 people that get on the bus, and Sterling Campbell's just like, out of my way, suckers. I gotta get to the University Media Lab. Just hop in one stop? Oh, to the metro, okay. We'll zoom out because this is liable to make us really dizzy. Let's see if they skip the line here. Actually, they probably don't have to because our metros are mostly, I think, 600 car. Sterling had the VIP pass? Yeah, I guess so. Oh my God, is that Carrot Top over there? Where? Jump on the bus. Okay, so they're taking the red line, I do believe, if they're coming from the suburbs into the campus. And if they work at the University Media Lab, they should be getting off here, yeah. Where is the University Media Lab? Is it way down on the bottom right? Like the opposite diagonal corner? I wonder if I would like The Sims. I feel like I might. I feel like I could spy on people like this in a more detailed fashion. AC, are you still there? Yeah, you are still there. Do I need to check out The Sims? I probably do. I'm asking the wrong person. You kick me down a rabbit hole. I mean, like, I played like the first one, Kong. Pain meds and fires? Yeah, that'll do it. You're a little more involved in The Sims, yeah. So he hung out outside. Is he going? What's he doing now? Is he going home? Now he's going home? That was his shift? Hanging out in front of the... He's worse than the creative arts kids! What's with this guy? You can backseat. Will I pay attention? Will I know? You'll be giving me all kinds of help that I won't read in the chat, you mean? Is that what you mean by backseat? All kinds of great advice that I missed for 45 minutes. Okay, he's going through the metro again. To cut the line at the bus like a D. I mean, 3 times speed, yeah, but he didn't go in the building, AC. Like, literally, like he stood outside. I mean, I don't know if there's a time clock or anything, but if there was, it's probably in the building. Took him a week to get to work. That's a good point, Patton. I do have to remember that about the timeline here. Took him a week to get to work. And he stood around outside, just in shock. 1,000-yard stare for another week before he took the bus back home a week. This, by the way, here, let's get out of follow mode. This is still a great little spot. I need to fill out the grass around the area, but the trees in Central Park are very different, but at another time of day, it's not so obnoxious. Earlier in the day, maybe when the sun hasn't come around we do it this way? No, if we do it this way. If you look at it in the dark, it's fantastic. But for console, it's not too bad. I'll take it. Okay, so moved a bunch of people in over here, by the way. That I need to round out those edges better. It's not great. I thought this was appropriate. The theme park over here. I had a fire, surprise, surprise, and it burned down the main gate of the zoo. So I didn't want it, like, if you blow up the main gate, you blow up the park progress and all its history. So you got to put in, if you have it, the disaster response unit. So since I had to put the disaster response unit in, I thought the best thing that could go next to it is the countdown clock. So those are hanging out over here by the airport together. But the zoo's doing great now. The zoo's doing fine. Oh, check out the traffic, by the way. Look at the traffic management that is happening here, okay? So I am going to move. The amusement park is just not big enough to bother. And Chirpwork's probably gonna get its own island. This is gonna be my mayor's house. I'm gonna have my own private helicopter that comes out here. But don't mind that. That's not important. Tax, it's in the budget already. It's fine. It's already signed off on. You can't do anything about it. So, path to $1 billion. We are negative 70 in the hole right now. I hope maybe I've got to look at that. Anyways, the park's not big enough. I did put a lot of time into, like, how can I cram everything into this plaza? And I think this is actually, it's pretty decent. Here. But, like, this doesn't feel like an amusement park. This feels like a carnival. And then this, I guess, kind of feels amusement parky, kind of. But also, like, This scale's just like obnoxious compared to this stuff, but it's not big enough in reality for like an actually fun ride to be happening in there. I mean, I could definitely see some Giardia or at least some kind of worms that are waterborne that you could pick up from a ride like that. And like, I don't want the liability in the city. We can't have it. It's too big. It's too big for the carnival sized nature of the other attractions. I love the mechanics of park life, but for what the zoo is, for everything that the zoo can be, and the zoo has a couple extra objects right now that this is going to get shoved off to the side. This is one of the hotels. This is the temple and the smaller temple. I don't know, but those are going to get the amusement parks kind of thrown up top here. So this highway that takes people under there to the amusement park is just going to follow around. But check out this flow, right? You come off the highway. This is for both amusement parks. So either you're going straight or you're going right to the amusement park. You're going left to the zoo. I don't know why this is 2-lane, but it works. But like, so the parking is, I've complained about this, right? The parking's frustrating. Like, there's so many people that will park, but there's still so many people that pocket car. There's plenty of people that walk from the metro that's right there on the right side of the screen. But like, why does the lot never fill up? Like, there's plenty of people that want to park, but there's so many people that want a pocket car. But meanwhile, give them like a pavement path and they'll walk 18 miles, but the sidewalk, no. That's different. It's kind of wild. So of course, because we're here, it's going to back up a little bit, but like, it's not bad. And this is peak. I mean, look at this. Look at this mess. Also, can I ask a question? Does anyone else have roaming gangs of moped and wheelchair riders around their cities? I feel like that's a thing now, and I don't remember that used to being a thing. I don't know if that's new to remastered or if it's in the base game too, but like, watch out. Because I don't know. I don't know whether, but generally people that ride bikes together, they're usually up to no good. Especially the mopeds. Can't say you've seen that. It's another me thing. Give them fires and wheelchair gangs. Stand up for yourself. Oh man, ouch. Okay. So work will be done over here. Again, this hotel is casting a huge shadow. That will not be there. Notice that the other entrance also, there are gift shops everywhere. You got it. You have to walk by at least 4 gift shops to get to any exhibit, basically. You're walking by 4 gift shops. And then over here, you're walking by at least 6 on the other way in. So we're trying to maximize profits over here as best we can. So amusement park will get moved over there. Private mayor residence. Can we walk on this? I don't know if I've ever walked Chirpwick. It won't let me, right? You can't go inside Chirpwick, can you? Not through the gate, certainly. Home sweet home, Harold! You did it, boy! You did it. By the way, Harold's the mayor now. Did we mention that? Did we forget to mention that? Harold no longer works at the ice cube factory. Harold owns the ice cube factory because we own the means of production here in Riverrun. You can walk through the gate? Yes. Okay. Well, hello then. I should rebuild this in Tiny Glade. That'd be a fun project. Rebuild Chirpwook. Well, this is great, Harold, huh? All the years of toiling and slaving away. The Ice Cube Factory. By the way, Harold, the test results came back. You don't have long. Can we... Are you saying you want... Do you want to get launched? You want to get launched, Harold? Hey, look at that. That's actually... You know what? When we get this all set up here, this isn't going to be a bad view of the city. It's going to be pretty good up here. Also, the amusement park won't be directly in our way because it'll be much further over there. Oh! Oh! Look at this! You see these things up here? I wonder what we can see through there.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Sorry, I had to. We were right there. So that doesn't look... That skyline on the left doesn't look terrible from here when you can't see the context of the blob that it's just sitting there. But we'll make it look good. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let me ask those of you that are here. I was thinking I might bring back some Fallout. So I don't know if anyone would be down for a Fallout Friday, but I might get back to some building. And we've got, I'm pretty sure, do we have season 2 coming before the end of the year? For anything but fires? I mean, hey, in that one other context, I guess we got them. So we'll have to make a nice. Oh yeah, we gotta get private police out this way. Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. Come on. Really? The police station is right there. We just need a car to go. But the car's already out somewhere, unfortunately. What else over here? So I started around out a little bit trying to do... Like, these work really well together. This is one of the large warehouses, and what the heck is this? This semiconductor plant? Like, if I get back there with an apron... You know what I mean? We do a right apron around there in the right spots. We'll get some temporary road through there, but I'll figure that out. So those work pretty well. This is okay. Like some of these just like, I think they sit okay in kind of the same complex. Like these two could work together. This is the television station. This needs to get moved. This does not belong there. I think this will be kind of an open plaza. And I believe Lafayette Heights here. I think I'm going to do one more suburban neighborhood, and I got to figure out how to trail off a little bit over here, but I figured a suburban neighborhood would be good before we get to the highway. We'll put the amusement park in here and round out with trees. Maybe there's a little bit of a rail yard or something over here, but not too much, just a little something. And this needs some work. My God, Spaghetti S. Benz. What a mess. And this is turned off. One, because it's pointless. And people shouldn't come here. But two, this is turned off only because, what does it cost? $640 a week or $640 for that one time you turn it on to fix that one building. Because I haven't needed it since. So I'm not going to worry about it. Season 2 on Christmas? Oh my goodness. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing on the channel. Christmas break. Get ready, get ready to watch it and have it spoiled because I'm going to be talking about it and building whatever I can. I hope, my God, can you imagine? I hope there's a... Okay. Have I talked about this already? If I have, I apologize. I'm going to talk about it again. Can you imagine if there was a Fallout 3 remaster in Fallout 4, which they've been doing with a mod, but I mean, like, Oblivion Remastered. They did that. Can you imagine if they brought base building to Fallout 3 or to New Vegas? I mean, they're going to Vegas. They're going to Vegas for season 2, like New Vegas Remastered. 3 and New Vegas Remastered. There's no way that they could crank that out in time with what they've been doing and how they just laid off people. It's disappointing, but I'm gonna get excited about the show though, because that show was I went in prepared to be disappointed, and I loved it. I mean, I hated what's his name, the Brotherhood guy. He was such a dick. But other than that, glad Michael Rappaport died quickly. Got to get that out of the way. But what a great show! Like they really did a great job. I hope they capture the chaos of all the different factions in New Vegas. And I hope they give us at least a good remaster, if not, my God, base building. 100K, here we come. Okay. I was going to say some Edge of Map Fog. This one brought to you by an airplane arriving in Riverrun. Coming in from one of your towns, perhaps. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Ouch. That's not good. I thought it was still in the shadows, but it isn't. Like, that's the color of the trees on this side of the park. And that's the color of the trees on the other side of the park. That is rough. Base building in New Vegas would be epic. I know, right? Come on, like all the stories, the factions, and an XP grinder out in the middle of nowhere, farming the death claws. What's AC, you never figured out what the deal was with the XP in the chat? Let me see. Channel activity. Can you see? I'm just curious now. Like, do you show? Is it a public subscriber thing? We never figured that out, huh? That is, oh my God, that's a wonky intersection. We didn't see that. We didn't see that. We didn't see that. That was rough. Those need fixing. Those trumpets need fixing. Trumpets are a little bit rough here and there, as is that landscaping. But we had a pretty good streak for quite a while on the cinematic camera, where it was not, there wasn't anything too horrific. Okay, we got to get out of cinematic camera because we're missing fires apparently, and we're grinding too slow at 374 million. So let's put some trees down. What do we have? We got a lot of demand, huh? For everything. Maybe I figure out this highway over here, because I got to figure out what to do other than a trumpet is what I need to do. So maybe just because there's a trumpet, and I try to do this interchange different with just 3-lane roads. Like, this is, I think, something that's kind of funny, right? Like, lane math makes sense. And it especially makes sense when you have, ironically, traffic manager and the ability to do force specific lane changes for things. Like, but the AI is stupid, and like it will cause a giant traffic jam in the middle of nowhere. So like 3 lanes does just fine. Like, yeah, you can do small exit ramps But if you got the room, you could also just 3-lane it all the way. You can make it work. And then this is the other hyper extension on the other side. Like, could you do that? Yeah, you could. I dropped it in, and even then, like, I don't want to change anything. I don't want to touch anything. It'd be horrible if I did. And it, like, I still need to do a lot of work on it. Tariffs on XP? That's rough. How is that, like? Why is that still even a thing? Why are we? Have we not figured out that that's a bad idea yet? Guess not. Sims can't even navigate a roundabout. Exactly. So, like, yeah, you give them lane math. I mean, that's great, but, like, they don't use it. The 3-lane, they seem to do just fine here, though. Like, there's nothing building up, you know. So, what do we do here? I don't want to do 3 trumpets so close to one another. So I could do another diamond kind of like that. We could. I mean, let's take a look. For a minute, AC, I was like, I'm totally just not. I forgot what we were talking about, and I was like, wait, I'm like, I literally have my orange mouse shirt on today. I found it. Found this old orange mouse shirt, and I'm like, wait a minute, is she talking about me? And then I realized, no, you weren't. I was like, what? Admit I was wrong about what? They stopped mid lane for no reason. So some of that can be corrected by breaking segments of roads and, like, doing a long stretch of roads into the intersection that you're having a problem with. Sometimes it is the nodes that are too close to one another. So, like, if you rebuild the road and get the nodes spaced out away from that intersection, sometimes that will help. Like, see how we've got an extra node here? Like, if there was a bunch of traffic, like, deciding right here to change lanes, you could break a bunch of this road and then, like, start the road from here and cause your node separation to, like, be recalculated again on the road creation. It's the easiest way to do it. Is it frustrating at all that the highway is, like, a very particular distance together, and then up here it's just, like, way far apart for a little bit, and then it gets a little bit closer together at the edge of the map? And then somewhere up here, I was like, at some point I was like, okay, I have to stop caring, because like we can fix it, but we can only fix it so far. There's only so much we can do. Yeah, the built-in highways were obnoxious. So I hunted for maps on stream. I like pointing out the irony that I was gonna watch like an egg hour-long tier video, and I was like, oh, I don't have that kind of time. And then I did like a 10.5 hour stream over 2 days to answer the same question. And yeah, some of the maps, even with 25 tiles, there's like these really frustrating broken things just off the edge of the map. Like, it's a slap in the face that they didn't go back and fix those things in remastered. Like, they should just remaster the maps a little bit, because it's just like, here's this broken segment of train that you'll never fix. That's over here you can see it. You like the look of it? No, you don't. Sorry, can't fix it. Oh yeah, couple fires going here. Nothing too big though, it looks like. We're good. Everything's fine. Hats, what's up? A little bit of fire. Itty bitty fire. Itty bitty fire that both of them just doubled and spread to other buildings, but that's totally fine. I'm sure that they won't spread to the trees in the park in the back there.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And then to the building across the street from the park. Okay, okay, I get it, game. I get it. Okay. Path to 1 billion. Oi, ay, 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 ay. Whoo! Hit those Elmos. Thank you, AC. Members get Elmos. Playing some games. Watching someone else play games. Nice. Me? Or somebody else. Watching two people play games. I technically are just watching somebody else's game go up in flames. Those wall-to-wall office buildings kind of look nice on the toasted side, I'm not gonna lie. Well, that park was a nice little custom. The side of the park closest is a park asset from the hotels and retreats. The back side of the park is my attempt at making it look like that park fit on the entire block. And when it's not on fire, it's a pretty good approximation of it. I didn't do the same hedgerows on the other side, but that's okay. It looks the part. Okay, any more fires? No? How are we doing industry-wise? I always like to check on the industry. You'll see me scan over here. Bobby's Ore, the THC, the farm, oh, Jesus! Okay. The industry. It's the Coline Francesi fire! The Coline Francesi fire 2271! Oh my goodness. The recycling plant, you could smell the plastic and the garbage bags burning. It got in my nose something awful. Whoo! Yes, you should rake your forest more. Look, we only have so many dollars that we can spend on our path to 1 billion. Do you want me to rake the forest floor, or do you want me to work on eliminating the wind turbines that are causing all the cancer? Because you can only have one. What do you want? Pick one. Pick one, Patton. You can pick one. You can't have both. More Elmos. More Elmos. I love it. Come on now. Park fire was just a distraction. I know we missed the Central Park blaze. That was the one that kind of warmed it up. Is that fire way in the back there? I spotted that miles away. Do you see where I saw that from? Did you see where I saw that from back here? I know fire. I know fire in my cities. Whoo. Ooh. Stinker. Max almost. Love it, love it. Grabbing more tea. Enjoy. I think I changed this. Yeah, I did. I changed this to coastal, like a coastal highway the whole way down. I really like this much better. On this side, I did a little bit of work though. The stadium. I think, did I add a couple things around here? I added Janet's Diner. That's one of Revo's buildings. I'm kind of surprised there's so much electric parking. Odd. Warehouse, and then the small ware lot. I don't know. What is this? Warehouse yard. Ware lot. We got a couple of the hotel and retreats restaurants in here. 3 different variants. And then a cafe, and then the other cafes over here. This metro station is a double metro. It's a little bit big, but I think it steps up from small restaurants right next to here. It's okay. This is off right now, the driving range, but we'll get that turned on, and we'll get this moved someplace at some point. I also added, you may notice over here, there's a little bit of a footpath that comes up around the backside of the campus. And you'll see a lot of foot traffic after games. Depending, there is a break point. I think everybody at the basketball arena takes the metro station that's up here next to baseball and football. And then depending, most of the people leaving track and the aquatics. Is this the aquatics or is this the basketball? That's the basketball. This is the aquatics. So the two closest here tend to evacuate that away. One of the things that I do really need to work on, because it frustrates me every time I come over here for this angle. I love this angle, but I got to work on this foreground, the fishing industry area down here. Subway station assets, multi-level and direction stations. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We got a couple options at least now. Well, you do with what? You do have to have the DLC for this? Yeah, you have to have plazas and promenades for this. But you either have the parallel, which is the 2, or this one, the large underground metro station. So that one's a little bit bigger. This one is a single square, but it's deeper. Versus this one that's like, I think, a 2x3 maybe. One thing that I definitely need to look at, is this all the hub? I gotta put a good hub in. Like I have not really considered the hubs. We're maintaining 90% traffic right now, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna stay. They kept the 1x1 station. Yeah. You could add a smaller fishing village. Yeah. It's the placing the houses sparsely that I have trouble. I never do it right. I end up filling it in too much. As you can see here. We're trying to find spots where things don't belong. I gotta decide what to do. I might make this lake a little bigger, if anything. Because if I don't bring the water from over there, I kind of don't want to remove the water source and the fire protection from Sherwood Forestry. We have too many fires out here. Countryside DLC would come in clutch here. I mean, I got it, I think. Don't I have it? So, like, here's the other thing, too, right? Like, okay, come way back here, right? Like, you can see it starting to take shape. Okay, I talked about it earlier. These skyscrapers are not staying here. They're going to kind of come over here. And then on the south side of the park as well. We're going to split it up a little bit. There's going to be that gap in the skyline a la New York. I'm going to fill this in quite a bit, but there's going to be maybe some double rail tracks that come through here and some heavier rail yard infrastructure somewhere over here on the corner. And that will tie into this elevated train line that I've built through here, but I'm still working on that. I'm not entirely sure where that's going to go exactly. But that'll kind of get filled in. I've got a little bit of space to work right here, essentially, between the highway and the river. I don't want to overdo this. I kind of want to make this the base of fishing so that we don't have to, like, this is just ridiculous down here. I want to clean it up a bit. And this is a little crazy, this water these boats are fishing in. They're just cruising up that stream like it's nothing. Like, look at that. That makes no sense. Decoy, what's going on? How's your Friday? University housing is the clapped out houses, yes. Kind of rundown Greek housing. But you can kind of see it. Okay, so you can kind of start to see it taking shape. But this, yeah, I really want to work on this area here, the fishing docks and stuff, because it's very lumpy and sparse and not well done. And then, like, where do we draw the line? So, like, the actual line is way back here. But we're not going to build here. And I don't think I'm going to build here. I don't think I'm going to build over there. What I was, can I tell you what I was actually thinking of doing? Was starting a stream by like saying like, oh yeah, I removed all the ridiculous sewage over here. And then not telling anybody what I did with it, and then just having like sewage drains like out here filling in this valley. Seeing how long we can get away with it. I think we could indefinitely drain the sewage out that way. I'm pretty sure. I thought it would be kind of funny, but I didn't end up doing it. Be kind of disgusting. A nature reserve in one of the mountains instead of the sewage lake? You think that's a better idea, AC? That could be better, I guess. You didn't like the sewage lake idea, huh? I'll come up with some mock-ups. I'm not, I haven't completely pitched it yet. There's benefits. There's people just hanging out, getting on the bus. No big deal. I saw Harold there. That Harold? That's Harold down there. Harold an arsonist? Nature reserve. Okay, yeah, we don't have a spot for a nature reserve yet. I was thinking over here actually. But this is also kind of terrain and edge of map. That's certainly some space for it. How would you get here though? You would take... No! How? There's so much water! There's just so much water everywhere! How? Harold's lawyer in the house. Was Arnold. Hang on a second. Let me grab a drink. Hold on. Cinematic. Okay. Fishing pier burned down. Yeah, I mean, I guess it happens. Yeah, Elmo's handy tonight. This is a fiery night. It's a toasty one. It's been dry, apparently. There's the line that Sterling skipped. Got the express pass on the bus. Their Marshmallow fishing station. The fishing boats are so low compared to that dock. It's crazy. I don't know why. Like the scale of the docks. Forest fire preserve. The Dockums. I saw the typo correction. I still want to call it Dockums. The Dockums do need some improving. The Dockums are not very good. Also, like, they're not even like, oh, you have a road built in? I will connect it with a tunnel. I didn't, like, this is just hooked up for functionality, not at all for aesthetics. And that's the thing. Like, look at how bad that is. Take a nice look at that. Okay, that one's a little bit better height-wise, but still like taller than the ship. It makes no sense. And then this. Look at that. Is that nice? Does everybody like that? Could everybody tell how many Fs were given in the making of this particular choice? Because there weren't many, I can tell you that. So, definitely got to redo the fishing area. I feel like I started to do something. It's okay. It's with the intersection over here. That's right. So how do we do this and make this look different? We don't want 3 trumpets in a row. Do we have the room to kind of diamond this? I kind of have to figure out the road that's under it first. And we should use the... Why did I do this? What? Because this is the highway I was given. Because this is the highway I was given, game. Oh, okay. We're gonna rethink a lot of these choices. Starting like way back here. Pause. Okay. I mean, and that is not particularly attractive, so... Okay, and then while we're at it, we got that gigantic lump, so let's at least... Yikes, okay. Can we get a bigger landscaping tool, please? Come on, what am I supposed to do with this? Okay, you know what? It is hot in here now. I take it back. Hold on a second. Sweatshirt's going. Hoodie, it was too much for the hoodie! All right, that's better. That's better. Okay, now I can think. Actually, no, it's not. That's probably not going to change the thought process. The broken thought process is here to stay. Map editor's landscape tools are better. That is correct. It's unfortunate. Maybe I haven't given it enough of a shot. I mean, this is so bad though. Oh my god. I feel like you get at least faster results with the slope tool. What? Like, come on. Come on, game. This is the best you're gonna give me? This is the full intensity of the brush. Okay, we'll look at where the highway comes through and make sure that is as smooth as can be. But what's going on here? What is this lump? Like, what is that lump? Why? Why does that lump up like that? I'm gonna redraw the road and it's gonna lump up, isn't it? It is. Watch. You watch. Remastered, everybody. Ready? Oh, okay. It didn't. Never mind. Never. No, never mind. Okay, no, sorry. No, never mind. Wrong button. No, back. Just to the game. Back to game. Okay. Okay, we're back. We're back. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We can admit faults. It's okay. We'll maintain this spacing for now. We got to get our intersection in here. We need it about the halfway point because we need a little bit of room, but we can... I don't want it right on top of the other one, right? So... How far back does this get all messed up? Like, is there any correcting this? And where do we correct this? Jesus. I got to go back. We got to do another session on that. We definitely got to do another session on that, Amanda. Like, it's... I've scratched the surface of what I'm sure what can be explored in that game. Okay, I want to bring them closer together way back here. So let's see. Highways going straight for a while is fine. That's fine. Let's come out to about here. You know what? We'll take it back one. We'll take it back one length. Curved out 20. I'm okay with that. I think that's looking okay. That's abrupt. We're gonna fix that. Don't worry. We're gonna add another curve. Yeesh. Okay, never mind. Never mind. That didn't work out so hot. We're gonna do 2 segments, then we're gonna curve them in together. Okay, we'll do like that. I don't know. Maybe this will work. Let's see. Okay, we got it. That'll work. At least for a highway recorrection. And now we got to figure out 2 exits? Actually, no, we got to figure out one more bit of highway correction. Hold on. We'll get there. Into the closet with the bucket. Oh my goodness. Okay. I already can imagine some of the insanity. Okay, there's not really a great way to hook back into this, so we'll just have to flub it. We'll just have to flub it. Okay, no one's coming up. I mean, you're all here right now, so please don't tell anybody about this little bit of highway out here that's just a little bit messy, okay? We're gonna keep that quiet. We're gonna keep that on the DL, and we're just gonna ignore that, okay? Pretend like that little guy right there isn't a thing. Yeesh. Okay. It's a little dangerous. It's a slightly dangerous corner in the highway, but you're well outside. I'm going to argue in court that you're outside the city limits by the time you hit that. So like you should be fine, or somebody else's problem at least. Okay. So what did I do? I broke an intersection. I didn't do anything else yet, technically. Okay. So I'd like to get this dumping traffic off that way and this way. I don't want it to get overclogged. What do we do down here? 4-lane underneath. We're going to do the road over here. I think that makes more sense since the highway is elevated, and then it comes down to the ground. I did elevate this bit through here. This was an aesthetic choice more than anything. So it looks a little weird off the ground, I will admit. I do like the straight up highway. It's nice. But it's almost like a safety barrier through the city in the residential area without having the crazy height of the sound barrier ones. So check this out. Upgrade. Cannot upgrade to this type because it's off the ground. Okay. So look at. So that's one off the ground with a Jersey barrier. This is the sound barrier, which you can see is mounted to the top of the Jersey barrier and somehow shortens the Jersey barrier in the process, which doesn't make any sense from a physics standpoint, but whatever. But it's ridiculously tall. So this was my attempt at kind of like, I don't know. Does it look more the part? I don't know. I feel like if you're going to be this close to a residential area, there should be something drastically separating the highway there. And in this case, it's Jersey barrier from elevating at 1 elevation step. Pete, it is indeed another Friday night in the city, unless you are in front of the Dateline, and then it is a Saturday morning in the city. Or I guess afternoon if you're in New Zealand. Afternoon already? I lost track. I don't think you missed too much. We're trying to work one more intersection in here somewhere. And then fixing the oil one so that we can hit play again. Michigan is Michigan still Eastern, or are you you're still Eastern. You're right on the edge of Central, right? Do I have that right? I must have that right. And if not, I would definitely guess it in a game of Jeopardy with great confidence and then look foolish. I was right though. So with great confidence. Perfect. All right, so 4-lane road. If we're doing one, right here, and we have one right there, we kind of want to go in the middle. Perfect. There's a little marker it's asking us for right there. It's perfect. There to there? Yeah, okay. All right, now that is 3 to get over. Now, here's the thing, right? We've learned this trick ages ago. If you go down 3 and you go out too far, it shortens it. So you can go 12. Sure, okay. But what if we want to make it look really smooth? Well, we can come out 8, right? Because that's 9, that's 10. So the edge of the round bit on the line is 8. Come down 1. Come down 1. Come down 1. Now you could even do the same thing on a curve, which is a little bit more complicated. So it doesn't matter as much when you're doing the first. So it's more about getting the length than anything. So what is our length? Length to come down 1 at 8, 64 meters. Can we get an angle that is 64, right? How about right there? And then we'll come around like that. I'll rehook this last part. Let's get the road in here first. So hold on a minute. Whoops. No. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Okay, come on now. Don't make me turn snapping off. Don't be a jerk. Let's do that, and then we'll break this. I hate that it does that. You came from elevated road to the ground, so you must want parking and you must want a crosswalk. Why no? No to neither, actually, game. No to neither of those choices. Thank you very much. Okay, now that we're back on the road here, though, we should connect this in 2 ways. One is going to be to come out this way. So let's do that. And then we need this road to hook in. Maybe that could come in right where that... Right where that... Is this too early for an intersection? That's too early for an intersection. That's got to be way back here somewhere. So we'll do something like that to carry the heavy traffic through there. Dense suburban, little looser suburban. Nothing, trees. Another highway exit over there. Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out with enough runway to make this work. So this is probably going to be a lot easier if we, rather than like try and like guess the curvature and line it up just right, we're going to build a bunch of bogus bits of road. I'm going to put the round part of the circle just through the circle on the road. I'm going to build a road off of there like that. And I'm just going to use those as a means of like, actually, I don't need them that frequently probably. So we'll go to, we get that angle and then we'll hit there like that. Okay, well, we're going to want to work on that. So hold on a minute here. All right, this is a little trickier. Interchange is really hard on console. Yeah, get ready for the struggle. Are you ready? Because here's where we are, trying to make this look good. So I'm going to bring this way out. Not down to 1, but down, or not down to 0, not down to ground level. I'm going down to 1 elevation step. So from 3 down to 1. And then that should be enough. Yeah, that'll be enough. But I wanted to line up, I wanted to get that line going so it was nice and giving us enough room. Also, like it might look fine to come all the way up with the like the sides there, but you definitely want for safety a little bit of flat road to road so people can see what's happening. That does not look particularly good though. It's a little lumpy over here, isn't it? Okay, whatever. We're gonna pretend we didn't see that. It's good enough. It's good enough for the stream tonight. Not that. I mean, we're still gonna fix that. Okay, so same thing that we just did. Where do I really need the road lined up? Right here. Okay, so if we do... We'll do right about there, and then we'll hook into that spot. Eesh. Okay, we need to get the functionality of this first, because I don't even know about the exit here, if it's going to cause issues or what. If we go just shy of that node, yeah, okay. That should be enough leeway. It's only going to be Sycamore Heights and Manor District, which names need to be changed, by the way. How much earth moving do you do in the end to make the stuff look natural? Not that much. I mean, there are spots, like we flattened out a spot for like the various industries, but I tend not to touch the landscape of the map that much. This is pretty aggressive over here, this coastline. So, you know, like I flattened out spots so all the sports stuff could be in the same spot. A little bit of landscaping through there, obviously. This still all needs work. This is just kind of moved in. I'm going to move some of these taller ones out. And then there's some places where it desperately needs that landscape tweaking, because we need to do something to go from this ridiculous height up here to way down, which even here, like this key wall is insane and deadly. I felt really bad for kind of what was happening over here. Because like you have all these businesses and then you just have like this, especially on 3 times speed, like look at how terrifying this river is. At 3 times speed, right? Like that's nightmares. Even at 1 time speed, though, like not having a railing here, like just having the key wall that you could just like literally walk off of. It's nice to know that like your character literally cannot, like you'd have to, no, Harold, don't! Harold's fine. Harold likes quiet walks at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, apparently. It's fine. Harold swims funny. It's motion 6 straight. I'm so sorry. Okay, so back over here. We're figuring this out. Okay, whoa, asshole. Okay, sorry. Language mouse. All right. Oi. Oh, that's ugly too. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't see it. 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 Let that man live in peace. Sorry. Oh, I'm playing it, and that is the only way to get to this industrial area right now. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Pause the game. Please pause the game. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, we'll do something like that. To there. So one of the ways to like that I found to curve it is like grab this first angle coming off the road as it bends and use that as your anchor point, and then we're gonna try and come down here past where it's trying to like click to a different spot. So if you go just a little past that, it'll let you kind of come to a point that is parallel and hopefully far enough away to do your next segment like this. Nope. We can do that though. Okay, that works. And we should be able to do one more here. Okay, so let's upgrade. Let's get this looking the part. And then we're gonna put the other trumpet back and hopefully not look as god awful as the last trumpet that was there. But then we won't have 3 trumpets in a row. We won't have a bunch of industrial traffic coming off of here. We can start putting some of our last residential neighborhoods in progress. Okay, this is backwards. It's still a little ugly again. This is first step is functional, and then second step is if we like it, we'll clean this all up. Because it needs a little cleanup, but you get the idea. And like somebody just said, right? Like console interchanges are pain in the butt. Wanderer said it. Okay. So like before you spend a bunch of time to figure out that an intersection doesn't work there, or in this case, maybe a diamond doesn't work there, right? Like it can work if you give it a long enough runway to get on and off the highway. In this case, this one was getting GM'd up because we had the amusement park here initially. I think it's been doing pretty good otherwise. This one down here is not big enough for what it's trying to do, but it's doing okay. And in fact, it has the single lanes up the middle, which is an interesting choice. That's part of the map pack 3 ones. So let me see. Okay, so getting on the highway, getting off the highway, getting on the highway, getting off the highway. Okay. It's ugly, but it works. Well, it's not even necessarily ugly. It's just like it's not perfectly symmetrical, and we can fix some of those. And the traffic is bad right now because of everything that's happening here. What do we have? We get the 4-lane industrial roads here. Did I have some backwards that I fixed? I'll usually spot major interchange issues before I go live, usually. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll upgrade this if it'll go. That's a wild look. So the longer the on-ramp, the better traffic goes. I mean, not necessarily the better, but like if you look like what's happening back here, or where do I have a diamond that's busy? Over here by the stadium, right? So on game day, like this interchange is objectively a bad idea in City Skylines. It's not a great choice. But there's a couple of little things that I'm doing here to trick out and make it a little bit more serviceable. You can see one of the tricks right now. And that is this area can be used to come in to the area from the city above. The city's on the north side, right? City's up top. So from the city, you can technically drive into a game, but you can't drive back home. So you have to take a metro or something because the road is a one-way coming under the bridge. Otherwise, it goes directional both ways. Well, you'll notice a lot of people pulling out pocket cars for a block and then getting back on the other side because they can't drive that way. So you get a bunch of people over here that like walk across, pull out a pocket car, and then get on the highway going over there. So it's kind of stupid. And on game day, this gets backed up, but it's doing the trick. And then again, a much smaller version of this. We had the dog bone here, and I deleted the dog bone underneath, and we still have the thin lanes on top, which is again kind of silly. And this is one of the worst intersections in my city, but also like we're at 88. We were at 90% at the start of the stream. Like, you can change the color of the university? ? Yes, indeed you can. Well, you can change. There's a couple things. There's 3 different universities. They do have an intrinsically slightly different color, right? So, trade school's got a greenish roof. The liberal arts has a reddish palette, and this is, I guess, a little more green. What is it? Is it not green and blue? I guess bluish aqua. So they're their own different color. And then the arenas themselves, you can choose the name of your team as well. So like if you go to an arena, right, I have the varsity sports, which are all tied to the green Gators. But then if you have something outside of that, like over here, I can choose. They're playing Springwood. I wonder if it's my Springwood. Of course it's my Springwood. This actually is a really cool asset. Sorry for jumping all around, but that's what we do here. That's what I do here. This is a really cool asset because there's so many people everywhere, and they actually exit the park from all the various doors. Well, not in the upper floors, but like they come on both sides of the staircase. Now, I will tell you something. That makes this obviously not a North American sim. Sims are not North American, and I will tell you why. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to lump in the Canadians. Sims are definitely not American. Because I've seen them, like if the metro station is on the other side, like, okay, here, if the metro station is over here, let's say the metro station is right where these trees are, right over there. The Sims know that the shortest path is up these stairs. But don't tell me if your choice was to walk, I don't know, another 50 yards and not do what is basically 3 flights of stairs. Nobody's taking those stairs. Nobody's pathing that way. That's ridiculous. That's insanity that they would path that way. Hey, can we play in the water? Are there coins in here? Harold's losing it. Don't mind Harold. This is the metro station, the parallel metro station. It's a little bit deeper, just a small side to side. Just as broken in here, though. Don't worry about it. I hope that's a service animal, lady. How come we can't ride mopeds? Is there a body over here? Whoa! Did you see those guys floating down the stairs with the body? That was wild. Okay. So it's a little thick with shadows down here. We'll get that sorted out. I think probably by next week. Is that a giant fire? Jeez Louise!
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Man. Get some good ones. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 6 helicopters on screen at one time. And a fire truck. You're gonna crash into one another. Two houses across the street on fire. Like, come on. Come on now. It's going up. Hit 89% before you close the window. Oh, I got to stop doing that, though, because remember what we're doing over here? We're not routing traffic to the frickin' to the thing. I'm going to delete this because we don't need this road. We need highway coming to that, right? We'll just do this with regular roads. So 1, 2, 3 will come up. We'll go over and over so that we can get a spot. Just right in the middle. Actually, I'm going to put these down so that I can grid off this. So if we come over there, right? 2, 3. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll come under here. That's our trickiest part. And then I may as well break out the highway pieces here because if I don't, it's gonna break this part. Remastered got stupid and like did things that it didn't used to do when it comes to breaking and changing roads. And I don't know exactly when they did it, but it was kind of like a table flip on the way out of the party. Like, oh yeah, one of the last updates we're gonna do is gonna break roads. Enjoy, but don't worry about it. CS2 is coming, but not for you on console, but we broke roads before we left. Thanks. An avocado, thanks. Okay, are we good? We're good there if we do that. Okay, so curved out, let's say 10 and 10, and we'll go down 1 and we'll come out 8 and down 1. Right about there. I don't know. It's a tight corner. It's a tight corner. I think that's okay. Let's see how that looks. If we upgrade this segment now. Ugh, no. No. No, God. Okay. Is that going to curve out if I do that? So like, you know what? That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. You get what you deserve. So down to there. And then let's go out this way. We're right there. We're right there at the interchange. We can't do that. We can't do that. This has to be so much shorter. Look at how clogged this is. What am I doing? We don't have room for this. We don't have room for this, remember? What a time for the Discord. After I step two intersections super ugly on top of one another. Join the Discord. I love it. Okay, we're gonna try and do this. We're gonna try and do this smoother. So if we do this, okay, we're gonna come down 2. We're gonna curve in. We're not gonna curve into that. Hold on a second. We're gonna go straight. We're gonna break this right there. Does that give us a little bit more room? It's a little bit more room. We gotta tighten this up. Yikes. Okay, so I will rethink this. That's a little bit more comfortable. We'll have to make the other side much less obnoxious then in that case. Okay, functionality first, and then we'll figure out if it was worth it. That's getting on, that's getting off. Okay, we're good. So let's get back in here and fix this. Can we just do this? We're gonna do the straight up 12 slopes for now. And then we'll curve these in like so. Like that? Does that work? And then we'll break that last piece. So here. Nope, that's wrong. There we go. Directions, that's getting off. That is slop. We're gonna have to make this. We're gonna have to make this longer coming off. No doubt. Come on, right there. And then curved. That should be a little bit smoother. This is coming off, so this is all backwards. Really, you're gonna... Like, this is what I'm saying. If you don't do this just right, like it didn't used to break the road segments like this. Like, notice there's nothing from there to there on the other side of the road. That's totally fine. If we... Okay, whatever, game. That makes sense. Okay. And there? No, and there? And then it won't let you see. I thought I'd fixed this on the way, but I guess it won't let me do that either. So we have to redraw this. Do we just redraw it from there to there, or do we have to? So we have to stop in the middle to put a pillar down for it to ignore the pillar when I draw it from here. No, it didn't ignore it. Okay, never mind. All right, just shh. Okay, is that functionally any different? Not really. This got ugly, but that's okay. They should stop taking that intersection because it's no longer the only way to get to the oil place. So number one, let's fix that. Number two, let's get our direction shift out. We'll fix this real quick. There's no traffic waiting for turning there. Shouldn't be getting off the highway here anyways, let's be honest. So we're gonna have to look at, does this have Old Town on it? It does. Oh, but they don't care about Old Town on highways, do they? Which this is, but could we alleviate some of this traffic by making it single lane each direction? Right here, two-way highway. Right, that's what this was all the way down here. So now it should back up further. Do we keep this as highway all the way through here? I gotta get comfortable, especially on the edge of the map, not zoning everywhere anyway, so maybe that will remind me that we're not worried about zoning there. Someone made an argument for the hot dog truck being the best. That is a troll. That has got to be a troll. Sorry, I'm terrible about chat, but I did see Alistair ask any news on CS2 console. Please tell me they're working on it still. So I don't know. I'll be honest. Like, are they working on Cities Skylines 2 still? Because they haven't finished. They don't have a date yet, do they, for when they're going to finish all the DLC that was supposed to come out with the Ultimate Edition? And they haven't announced anything after that. And what do they have on PC is still a lackluster game that is mixed at about 52%. And it's not budging. So people that are coming to the game this late with, you would think, reduced expectations, knowing that it's a 52% game, but like, oh no, maybe it's for me. And those people are still coming in and saying, nope, recent purchase, still 52%, which is pretty sad. It's like very hit or miss. So like, and that's the thing, at 52%, half the people love it apparently, and half the people hate it. So, you know, I'm not going to yuck your yum, but like, it is what it is. And it's not great in my opinion without mods. It needs a lot of help. Like, the game is so much better with even just like 5 to 10 basic mods, and you can't do those on console, even if, right? So if they do come out with the game, it's the inferior version of the game. And they have shown a history of not caring to fix it themselves because modders can fix it. But what about console? Shh, stay in your corner. Stay in your corner over there, console. Here's a yo-yo. It's broken. Enjoy. Oh, okay. Fair number of fires tonight, I would say. It's certainly not disappointing. How great would it be if you could load up cities, right? Share cities with friends. That'd be really cool. I'd like to walk around some of people's creations. I have fun walking around mine, that's for sure. This one's going to be, so this one is the furthest into the future, by the way. If it's official. I don't have a city I don't have another city that's in 22 anything. And we're about to hit 23. I gotta look at the budget because something has slowed our progress here, I'm gonna guess. Let's look at what treasury. Is treasury the overall value? We had that big dip, so maybe not. Maybe we're just trending back up and it is slow. The big gap around 21-21, there's like a straight shot all of a sudden where we stopped making money. That's when I moved out like 56,000 people and just broke the high density completely down. And then the other big dip in the treasury is when I added in all those skyscrapers and Castle of Lord Chirpwick. So that ate into the funds, but it looks like we are trending back up again. And it's a slow climb, man. It is a slow climb. But once we do get a little closer, like I do want to turn on some of the uniques and get like a lot of people coming in and out of the city and more foot traffic and getting it looking all crazy. But I wish the budget was more consistent. Like I should have said this when it was still on the screen, and at this point I just want to stick to the cinematics for a minute. But it's so up and down. It's like, yeah, I'm making money. I leave my city running all the time at the house. And my wife like came upstairs, like she was like walking through the porch, walking through my office. She's like, hey, is this okay? And it was like negative 52,000 in the red. I was like, yeah, don't worry. Cause in like 35 seconds, it's going to be 200,000 in the green. But like, how are you supposed to balance your budget when it ebbs and flows like that? It's insane. Like there's almost no value to that number when I'm literally, okay, like here, we just got 2 edge of map fogs in a row. It's telling me that's not the cinematic camera run. Like, look at the money right now. We're at plus 31,000 in the green, plus 41,000. Okay, but look at my money in comparison to that number that is green or red. 37, okay, 375. Look at the middle number, 194. So we're going up, right? Because we're plus 37,000. 204. Okay. Plus 56,000. So we're going up from there again. Nope. We're going down. 199. 192. What? I've had nothing but positive growth in the green on the right-hand side, yet my money right next to it is going down. Make up your mind game. Like, what? What? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it showing me those two numbers updating at the same interval? Like, number A updates, number B updates, but they're not connected to one another. Not even the trend. It's not even what's about to happen or what just happened. It's like, no, I got like a bunch of negative trends in a row right now, but I'm counting up. 173, 171, 171 and holding, 158. Now we're going down. Back up a little bit, but we're back up even more. Like, what? How are you supposed to run a city like this? How are you supposed to run a city on this kind of a budget? Can't do it. Woo! Look at that crowd. Look at that crowd. Who wants to ride that bus? Sterling wants to ride that bus. So what big projects does the city have left? Anything people would really like to see? I think I got to figure out a transport hub build. I got to use at least one of the hub buildings and get some things jiving together a little bit better. I also got to knock out all those Art Deco buildings. They're awful. I will hunt them down one by one before the city is finished and historicalize them out of existence. If we have to have a bunch of abandoned pancake houses instead, that's fine. I think the industrial haze is a little bit overplayed. And we talked about, do you have industrial in your area? And does it turn the literal atmosphere yellow around it? Like, is it that noticeable immediately around it? The trees grew back in the park. Nice. That's good. Zoo's popping. That's a camera angle. We'll regret that one for a minute. So mad about that bus hub bug because I can't use cute school buses if you want to use the prettier biofuel terminal. What? Okay, what? I haven't made a school dedicated line yet, so I'm coping. Wait, what? What is going on here? I saw you talking about something, Adia, in the Discord, but I guess I don't totally understand it. Let me see if I get better context here. If I reread it again. I saw you're struggling with the road connections. The road connections for real, like, they're annoying. The pedestrian path connections are super annoying. When they will connect and when they won't. Okay, let's check our traffic situation now that things have had time to settle for a minute. We are at 90% traffic. That's not bad. We're really busy through here. Let's go 3 times speed. We got money to make. We know things are bad here. How are our 2 newest intersections doing? Okay. The question will be, was like when we move a bunch of people in here. But so someone was saying, and I need to give it a try. Do we break out the gravel roads in the country? You know, do we have curved country roads through here, through the woods? That kind of run parallel to the road, but not quite. And then kind of connect up through to each other. So like that to here, to there. Just the roughest of ideas. Is this connected to the 4-lane? Okay. Does that make that makes a traffic light, a gravel road? Come on. Come on. Get out of here, traffic light. You're gone. I did, if you saw the most recent video on the channel, and I'm tempted to play it just because I think I'm funny. I did a David Attenborough day in the life of Harold, one of the Sims here in the city. And I got curious. So I was like, I went to a site and I was like, oh, what do they got for AI voices? How good are some of these other voices? And I went looking just for like general narration, and like if you're looking for like corporate voiceover training, like okay, whatever. But it's not quite there yet. Not where it needs to be to really. It can't replace a human or a good voiceover. It can be fun. But there was like a bunch of different Boston accents that you could choose from, and it was like it was an art student from California trying to thinking they were doing a Boston accent and doing a bad New Jersey accent. It was not at all. It sounded like somebody doing an accent. It did not sound anything like someone authentic from the Boston area. Which, like, again, I'm not expecting him to get all the inflection right, but like it does David Attenborough pretty well, you know, so did I put that somewhere? Probably did. Did I put it on green screen? It doesn't matter. Okay. So let's get the district tool out. Let's just see what this looks like. Cause I gotta, and then we gotta go check the roads over there. But if we make a district here, all the way down to the road. And then what is it? You select the district and then we choose here and it's going to be at the bottom. Countryside. What is countryside? Just low density residential. Oh, and then of course we have different assets and things. So like this is just to see what they look like. This is not at all the style we're going for. But if we had like sparse country road on this side, maybe this becomes highway as well and not zonable road at all. And we keep this very light coming out into the zone. It's going to be kind of weird when it jumps all the way down to a... What do we have? What do we have for options? For highway, for non-zoned roads. That's 2-lane. That's a one-way. I hate how they describe these. So like highway ramp. Okay. This is a 2-lane highway. One-way highway with 2 lanes in the same direction. 2-lane highway. This is a one-way highway with sound barriers that also happens to be 2-lane. Shouldn't it be a 2-lane highway? 2-lane highway with sound barriers? Or one-way highway with sound barriers? Highway with sound barrier? What? Who got that passed? Then we get the 4-lane highway with sound barriers. It's the inconsistency. That is a 2-way. That's what I use for the coastal road. Asymmetrical 3-lane highway. That's interesting. We might consider using that actually. Where's more traffic coming in or out? It looks like there's a lot more traffic coming in, right? But where is it turning? Does it need to make that choice even? Some's going left, some goes... Okay, that's a perfect... Thank you for answering that question, game, by sending traffic left, right, and center immediately after asking which way are they going. So turn off that. And then we can figure out the direction of this after. We want the 2 lanes going in. And then we can upgrade this all the way back to here. Whoops. There we go. So this isn't zoned. That isn't zoned. We're starting to space things out here at the edge of the map. Do we have this be our last pocket of zoning and then none of this is zoned and then this becomes dirt roads kind of out here in the hills? I think so. I think we just figured out what we want to do here. So this is going to go through a serious rethinking over here then for sure. Okay. Sorry. Okay, now I'm gonna try. I'm catching up and I'm trying to catch up on this thought here. If you have the inner city bus hub in the city and the biofuel bus terminal, the terminal won't send out buses unless they are set to biofuel style. The regular terminal lets you change the style. That's if you have the inner city bus terminal and the biofuel terminal. So can you not send... So you can't send bio buses out if inner city bus hub? Is that what I'm understanding? Bug for at least 3 years? That's unfortunate. There we are, edge of map. My old friend. We meet again. Got to figure out what to do. I want I keep going back and forth on whether or not I want to do an elevated train on that side of the city. It does help separate things visually, although an elevated train feels better in the thick of it, like Chicago, rather than on the perimeter of the city. It doesn't feel right. Speaking of, what does feel right over here? We're trying to thin things out, and using non-zonable roads is our first step to do that. In terms of getting distracted, we'll go right next to the road here and see, do people... We have demand. Are they going to want to move in? You know what, for whatever reason, makes them want to move in so fast is when there's an elementary school, easy access. They love it. They love it. 3 times speed. Watch them move in. No water, no power. They don't care. There's a school nearby. See? There they go. Okay. This is the country. The other thing that I want to consider is the European. I love the color of the default houses, but the style is a little wild. It's a little kind of all over the place. So what do these look like? These look like little barns and stuff. Now this does make sense right next to the highway, but if there was a lot of trees here and the occasional lot, they wouldn't be like right on top of one another like this. I would have, you know, trees and fields and paths. But those aren't bad looking. Those are pretty good looking assets. And that could be okay up here again as we start to really thin things out over there. But I think we do the same thing here. So how does that all get connected back up? Because that's a little wild right now. It's with any hub, according to Reddit. That's annoying. So, okay, just because we talk, I love tangents and we're talking hubs. Let's figure out, I got to figure out what hubs are going in here. So we've got the content creator ones I don't want to overlook. Okay, do we have a spot? We have a spot over here. This should work. Okay. Bus, inner city bus. So we get people coming in from other cities on buses on a lumpy lot. It's a nice looking asset. Does this one have metro or it does not? Right? Can we go? How do I go underground to find out? It does not. Okay. It's a waste just to throw these in to delete them, but I do like that asset. I did use it as soon as it came out. Oh, this is the one though that we had in Plainville for sure. Combine that with the park entrance and the highway and forcing people $40 just to walk up to the thing was nice as well. But that's a pretty good one because you've got the buses around the city and metros right next to one another. But like, how is that any different? Honestly, I mean, because you're putting a bunch of bus lines. Yes, I understand that. But like, where do we have like, you know, a bus stop next to a metro stop? There's a one around here. Right there. Perfect. There's a bus stop next to a metro stop. We're doing the same thing without a giant hub building to do it. But then again, this is bringing a bunch of bus lines together to 2 metro lines, right? 2 metro lines. Yeah. A crisscross. Let's fix these guys before they move out. Just so that we can look at them for reference over here. Maybe we'll do like Europe. I'll do European suburbs over here on this side. Mix it up a little bit. Figure something out. Okay, hubs. So like I do really like that, but right now, and it looks a little stupid. And in fact, I realize now in my Harold's Day in the Life video, I had him riding a school bus to work. Because really the school buses were more just to like, let's get school buses driving around the residence and doing exactly this. This is what the bus routes are for. This is the only reason I have buses, is not because I care to effectively move people around the city. It does work, but this is what it's for. I also don't totally understand why so many people, at first, I was like, why are so many people parking at the community health center when it's 3 buildings that are off? But it's the only parking lot around. Well, I guess there's some parking at the soccer, but these 2 are attractive, right? And there's parking there, and then there's these 4 parks technically right next to one another, so people are parking for those assets, not for the actual buildings themselves. But it does make it look like it makes it look like a school day, right? It works. So that was not a functional thing as much as it was an aesthetic choice to make this shot in particular look cool. And I think it does. I think it does all right. There's even, we got to clean up this lot here in the foreground and maybe ditch a couple of those commercial buildings. But like, that's pretty cool. That's a good little spot right there. Let's scan around for fires real quick. What do we see? Nothing. I think we're okay. And then how did everything equalize over here? So is the interchanges, are they going the right way? Can they get off the highway this way? Like, did I do it right? I have a feeling the highway's backwards if it's showing me an arrow in the road there. No? Is there just not a lot of traffic on this? So there's one coming in. I need one coming from the city going this way to see this work. Please, anybody. There we go. There we go. There's somebody driving to work on their moped. Okay, and then this coming out, you can go either way, correct? Yes, okay. And you don't despawn, you get on the highway. Okay, everything's looking good there. This could certainly be much smaller, especially if we don't overzone over here and keep it light traffic. And then we'll mix this stuff in. Much less dense than what we see here, of course. Progress, ideas coming together. I love it. I love it. Okay, where we got to figure out our hub though. Don't worry, that's what we're here for. It is the stream literally is called Getting Lost in Stupid Ideas in Cities Skylines. I didn't undersell it. You got what it says on the box. Bus, train, tram. Now you are speaking my language. We didn't do any tram in here. Can we see? Get off the bulldozer tool. Can we see tram? I'd love to have tram running through the suburbs, especially like the lower density side over here. Like kind of streetcar vibe. What is the cap on the trolley cars? They're useless, right? We can't make them work, can we? Is there a hub building for those? Okay, hold on. What do we like so far? Bus, train, tram. So I have big aspirations for what to do with the train here. So the train comes in. I want there to be a cargo yard at each of the industry areas. And I want those industry areas to be well connected. So it's going to take some engineering of the tracks. But I also need the city connected to the outside and some of the industry areas as well. Maybe not the farm right now. It is bypassing it. Like outside doesn't connect to this. It only connects to the other industry areas. But we've got this line that comes into the city. And what does it do? It doesn't do a whole lot. I don't even know if it's connected on both sides. But I would love to bring passengers into the city right here. I've set this up. And man, this is a pain in the butt. Like trying to make this all work on the slight incline that is this city. You have to be 3 clicks up to go over a road. And then the actual station itself isn't quite 3 clicks. So it's like there has to be an incline. And if you separate the nodes out just enough, I didn't realize there's one building in here, but I kind of love it. I kind of love this little office in between, this little commercial building in between the train tracks there. But I love this asset, and I put it on this 4-lane road. There's a couple taxi stands. I want to put a train station here. I would like to build another train station somewhere here on the backside of the campus. And then, I don't know, like bring it all the way around here and have like a rural on the ground train station somewhere out here between, you know, the industry yard and the town. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, the lone building's pretty sweet. I like it. So I would like to do some passenger routing as well, right? So I want to have a couple spots at least, 1 or 2 that bring, you know, passengers into the city via train. I think it's cool to have that option. But then also I want to shave this corner of the city off a little bit. So kind of have this, like this line kind of continue through here and L bend into the rest of the city. But I want to put like big train yard here to like shave off that side, and part of it will tear off here into the like residence, or I shouldn't say residence, like the commuter rail coming in, and then the other half can kind of fall off this way by the highway, and that will hook up into the industry area that way instead of like the direct shot that I have it taking now. We'll make it fit a little better. And then the other thing is like this train over here, I just routed a tunnel underneath to get out of the way of the highway, and I'll actually set it up properly and, you know, and do all those things over bit by bit. But we're getting to the point where we've got to rethink the train lines only because it's a next major step in kind of the development of the shape of the city. I think a lot of the other spots like trail off naturally because of the highway and the water here, because of the hills, because of the trees. There's a reason stuff kind of slows down and stops. But we've got to come up with those artificial barriers over here. So rounding out the campus. I don't know quite yet what goes here, if anything. Something. It's too dense over here not to do something in this quadrant. I think, again, another train yard over here of some sort, and we're going to fill out the amusement park and then fill it out with trees. That should burn. This is going to burn beautifully at some point. I'm calling it now. Like once I build the amusement park and surround it with trees, I guarantee there will be a massive fire over here. And it will just be way too much for the helicopters to handle. I'm enjoying Riverrun. I hope you all are. It's been a fun build so far. It's like I've still got a lot of ideas that I want to do, and this is not the one that incorporates all the little nods to the other builds. This one is just like, I think the first time I've really gotten to stretch my legs on 25 tiles. Meander theoretically, right, is a 25 tile build. But I don't think I like the way I don't know how to build those island edges as well. Not that these are that much better, but like think I talked about it before. Like, I think eggs, like you can use too many trees, and I don't think that's the thing. I think it highlights that they don't necessarily look great when they start loading in at different distances. When the camera's sitting still like that, though, it's fine. And for a truly boreal map, you know, Adia, there's trees everywhere. We live in a forest. They just throw up some pavement every once in a while. Fields are for the Midwest. And this is definitely a I think in my brain I've set my cities in a couple different states. Obviously Portsmouth was in New Hampshire. Honu was in Hawaii. But this one is definitely for me and my brain, it's definitely in Massachusetts. There's things that I'm borrowing, like the campus is very much University of Washington. There's so much inspiration there. I'm working on a new Boston thing, and I don't know if it's going to be a build or if it's going to be completely separate, if it's going to be like a mini documentary. I got a story that I want to tell about the ridiculousness of Boston, and I realized, I think only recently, like how baked in some of Boston's mistakes are into my understanding and design of a city. I want to show you. I want to show you what I mean. Okay. Who lives in a good metro area? Let me grab a picture. Let's look at Paris Metro. Paris Metro map. Where's the Paris Metro map? Is this a good one? Save image as. Okay, so if I drag this in here, whoa, that is big. Control F. Map, Control F. There we go. Okay, wow. Sorry. Welcome stream to the Paris Metro. And that may not be the best map, I apologize. But one of the things that you'll notice, and like a lot of cities, is that actually is that a concept map? Hold on. This is a better, save image as. Hold on a second. Do this one. This one? Why must you load that size? That's ridiculous. Okay. So what you can see here, right, is there's routes that come northeast to southwest, and east to west, north to south. They run from all over, and they kind of circle each other, right? So you can go like a ring road around things. Now, what's funny is if you look at roads, which America is extremely car-centric, you have basically how roads are numbered tell you a lot. So, for example, on the East Coast, you have 95 north and south. 95 north and south. 95 goes from like Maine all the way down, like I think Maine Canadian border down to Florida. And if you have a highway that completely disconnects from it, whether it's going north or south, east or west, it's going to be a different number. But if you have a highway that connects to it once and then goes off, that'll be an odd number. So like a 195. If you have a highway that connects again, so like it branches off the highway that you're on and connects to it again, that would be an even number 95. So 295, 495, right? So it tells you something about how that highway connects to something else. And we very much have that concept of like a ring road system, especially around like the Boston area. Like there's plenty of highways that move cars around the area. But when you look at a Boston Metro map, hold on a second, I'll show you why. Metro, not a Boston map, Boston Metro map. Here you go. Okay. Save image as. That's a web PHP map. I need a map I can save, please. Thank you. Okay, so here's Boston. Here's a giant version of Boston. Like what the actual game? Okay, or OBS. Okay, so the start and something that should be mentioned here, right? Like part of the problem here, part of the problem with Boston roads is the fact that they were designed for a very small peninsula in 1630. There were no cars. There were no plans for cars. There were no plans for more than a few hundred people to live on the plot of land. There's a lot of things going against Boston right out of the gate. But it is actually the oldest park in America is Boston Common, and the oldest metro in the United States, and it also the oldest intercity MBTA, so essentially the transit hub that connected bus, metro, all the different public transports together across 77 different communities. So it was like very cutting edge early on. But if you look at this map, you'll notice something is missing. So let's say you're on the red line. You live way out in the Northwest and you're on the red line. You're out like in the edge of Cambridge and you want to head down into Southie to work. I don't know, you work at a financial job in Southie. So you hop on the red line and you go all the way down, you go to work. Great. Okay, now let's say you want to go to the Garden and watch a game, right? You want to go see the Celtics after work. Well, you're going to take the red line up to you hit downtown crossing, and then you're going to get on, you're going to go up to the green line. At the end of the green line to the north is essentially where the Boston Garden is. How do you get home? You don't. You go back where you came from to the central hub to then go back out. So the funny thing here, what happens, right, is you get in this situation where like you take a 40-minute T ride to work, you take a 40-minute T ride to the Garden, and then you take an hour and a half ride to get home because you have to go all the way back into the city through all the crowds and traffic to then come back out because there's no ring roads connecting the metro. And it's the same problem with the bus network that is supporting it. They're almost not considering one another. So it creates these horrible situations where there's so much traffic coming in and out of the hubs because there's not a good ring design supporting the Boston Metro. And it like didn't even occur to me until 2025 that's kind of my problem with how I design my metro routes. But also, like this station's awesome. This thing's great, but it also causes the exact same problem to be very easy, right? And on a 25 tile map, I mean, maybe it's not that big of a problem. Maybe it's great to have this central hub, but don't have it doing all the work. You don't want everybody coming, if somebody works in the industry like Harold and they live over here, but they want to go to a game after work, like they can take the red line around. They can come back in their car. They can come back on the orange line to come back to this station. So like there is a lot of thought into how the lines do crisscross one another a little bit and how people can easily walk from station A to station B over here, for example. This could definitely be a parallel station at some point. I could design this into the campus a little bit better to accommodate those two lines. But it works. It works. So what do you want to see? Like what am I going in the right places with this? I'm interested to know. Those of you that are here, I'm actively soliciting feedback. Like, what are your favorite parts so far? What do you like? What do you hate? Why do we have so many frickin' fires? That's a little one. That's going to be easy. Everybody's highly educated. We can't look at like the actual people, huh? We gotta catch them coming in and out. I definitely, I want to get up to 1 billion. And once we get there, I don't care. Like I don't want to like, go bankrupt. But I don't mind running it razor thin. I was complaining about the budget earlier before being super inconsistent. But as long as it's ultimately trending the right way, we're doing good. But I would like to turn on a lot of the uniques, but they're going to introduce a lot of traffic. So like balancing that correctly is important. Also, a lot of these, like when you see them all lumped like this, they're very much placeholders. Like I want to do a thing. I want to do a plaza with all these things basically. Is what they're sitting over here for. So I'll flatten out a spot and I'll have a road that runs behind. You can see like I tried to fill this space in. This is, and I think might be where the financial building goes, but it's so big. I think it has to go. But this was kind of like what New York's Wall Street was to me. Like, yes, there's a grid, but at some point that grid has to give and you just consume all the space as best you can. Also did a few things over here. I don't know if it works. These are a little tall over here. I think we have to reduce those. And especially when you have these tiny little buildings next to it, we got to get rid of those for sure. But they're too big. They shadow this fountain. That's awful. They shadow this fountain. We got to change that. Casino, parking garage. We've got the shopping malls across the street, the 2 shopping mall buildings. Those are pretty nice assets as well. And I thought that all kind of worked over here. Is it Ocean City? Riverrun, the Ocean City. The river city. So, yeah, coming along. I have been playing a lot of Surrounded. Has anybody heard of Surrounded? Sorry, Surrounded. It's essentially, it's a single player voxel style DayZ. It's like very much crazy backpack inventory management. And there's multiple difficulties, which I really appreciate. Like if you want a super hardcore, you're probably going to die experience, you can do that. Even on easy, there are like these infestations you can go after if you want to. And like the first one that I went after killed me, like 3rd stage, dead. But then just like playing it as a survival game, it's like very enjoyable. It's very interesting. And apparently there's going to be, and I don't totally understand, I think possibly both multiplayer, so like a versus open world, but also a co-op world. And if that is the case, like it's like a very chill DayZ with cartoonish zombies, but with all the same complexity of attachments and inventory management. And it's really smooth. It's really good. I've been enjoying it. So Surrounded. Check it out. I think it's in early access on Steam. Need more parks with trees. Maybe have more decorative trees on them, possibly. But you need more kindling. There's decorative streets with trees right there around the mall. And then this annoying segment that's built into the mall that you can't change. I like being able to change built-in segments would be so huge. Same as changing trees on tree roads. Like, if you're going to build a road into a building, please let me change said road. Died so fast in DayZ, yeah. I still remember my first life in DayZ because I was playing with my my brother-in-laws, And like I lived for hours, and we were geared and kitted, and then like the first person we ran into like shot me on sight, and then they immediately died. Like they didn't make it. I don't know if they didn't see the other two people I was rolling with. But it was just frustrating to be like to play for quite a while and be way up in the north by the airfields and fully geared, and just one sniper shot and you're done, and you're on the beach like an hour. Feels like an hour run away back to your friends. It's wild. But that's the thing, is like this is like it seems like it's a shorter, simpler version of it. It's time to save. It's time to save and show you. I'll show you. Oh, I don't know if anybody follows me on Xbox, but I upload clips all the time, so random fires get posted, pictures of. And then also a video went up this week on the Xbox share of me emptying another dump with a meteor. Happened again. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Oh, I just took a screenshot of the town. Where? I also got a really funny. It was such a stupid video on Star Wars. I gotta find it. It like, so you can't do friendly fire, but there was one where like it looked like Yoda like punched somebody off the map at the last minute, kind of like Thor. A Hulk hitting Thor. Where is it? Did I record it? I must have recorded it. So that's videos. There it is. This is me just sitting there afterwards like, oh my god, I did that, didn't I? I did. So full cemetery. Sorry, not a dump. I don't have dumps. I have cemeteries still though. They're honestly decorative at this point, so I could leave them full and it probably wouldn't matter. You only ever see the achievements? Yeah, so they started deleting your clips, I think after 90 days, they auto delete, and I definitely have lost some stuff. I try and go in there and back them up every once in a while, or at least record a video, and then like in 5 years when I'm cleaning out digitally my junk drawer of videos, I'll be like, oh, here's a random video that I'll click the name of just to see what it is, and it's like, oh, it's 20 minutes of Battlefront clips, and I'll watch it once and then never see it again. So that was emptying a cemetery with a meteor. That's always fun. Which one was it? It was, I feel like it's this one with Anakin. Hang on a second. Let's just see. Let's see. Is this the end of a round? It is the end of a round. Let's see if Yoda's in the round with me. Okay, hold on a second. I'm pretty sure we have a Yoda. If we have a Yoda, this is the clip. And it looks like at the end of the round, like somebody pulls, I think, somebody off the map, but it just looks like our friend like boops him right here. Ready? Yeah, right. It looks like Yoda and I push him off the map. I know, it's just stupid. You had to be there. Okay, so let me do this. Yeah, bear with me a second here. So I need to go over here into studio mode, into capture, and I need to set up my game real quick, so bear with me. Surround with the EAD at the end. So I'm excited about this one, specifically the co-op aspect of it. It's in Unreal. Let me get game capture. Surrounded. There we go. All right, can we see that okay? I think we can. Okay, we got it. There? No, there. Okay, sorry. Okay, Boomer. Get out of studio mode. And stop the double music. I could continue, but like, let me just show you. I'll show you a new save. Hey, Google, stop. No, that's not what I wanted you to do, but okay. All right. Let's see here. So who are we? Who is this? It's Stream Guy. Stream Guy. He's 25. He's a pizza deliverer. And he's got this hair. Nope. He's got this hair. Nope. That hair. And this beard. Okay, continue. I'm gonna play on easy. So they have like the nightmare difficulty. Honestly, like there isn't even a peaceful mode if you just want to like build and hunt, I guess. But like it's I'm just gonna take you through here. Games like I am very much, as some of you know, an advocate for content tourism. Like enjoy playing the game. Not everything has to be a Dark Souls challenge. So this is an Unreal Engine. I have no idea where we spawned. We get a little knife to start, and that's it. So let's deal with a couple of these zombies over here. And then we'll go check out the diner or whatever it is back here. That one over there is acidic, so when it dies, it will like splash on you. It's not like boomer bad, but it's not great. Oh, they heard me. No. I don't need you. I'm good. I'll take your money though, thank you. Okay, one of the most important upgrades very early on is a backpack. I've also found that a very useful upgrade this early on as well is running into a wandering trader and murdering them for their thousands of dollars. You can't access their inventory, but you can't afford their stuff early on. But you can murder them for thousands of dollars. And then, okay, come on now. There's plenty for everybody. I'll share. If you're going to be like that, though. Actually, I can't carry all this stuff, so can we craft those into, let's put the water bottles down. We'll take this and then can we craft, can I not? Craft, here we go. Craft selected. Requires 2. Done, okay. And then we can come back in here. It's very much a lot of inventory management. We can read stuff to get skills. And I guess it's better to take the thing than not take the thing. We want the bandages. We want magazines and bullets for sure. And cash is useful. It's only $4. But we don't need empty water bottles just yet. We're not that thirsty. Hopefully we'll find something before we get there. Oh, I should have made a Herald character, huh? I also should update the stream when ooh, don't mind if we do. Okay, hunting rifle. We don't have a can opener just yet. Food's going to be more valuable than, I'm going to put down the box of ammo that is like literally it's 2 spots for a shot of a gun we don't have. When we could be carrying more food and a lockpick, I guess. The inventory management. It's very well done though, I will say. The whole vicinity thing, like once you search a cupboard, you can quick search it, but it makes noise. And once you're in there, like you can walk around, like you can still be moving around if something's trying to hit you. Clothing that you don't need, you can rip it immediately to turn it into bandages. But sometimes these things have pockets like this. Look, skirt has slots. My pants do not. So if I run around with a skirt for a bit, I get 8 pockets. I got 8 extra pockets in my skirt. So who am I to look a gift horse in the mouth? Because now we can make more bandages by ripping this clothing down. We can take these empty water bottles and fill them up. We can grab the money. We can read the books. I can't read 2 of this. Oh, sometimes you can. Okay. 9mm ammo, a face mask. Look at this. We're styling. We're styling. Did I go? Is this the room we were just in? So I like the art style. It is nice. Machete. Put the knife down. Machete, please. I guess we could sell the knife, but I feel like the alcohol is more useful. Can opener. Now we can open our food when we get hungry. Oh, and before I forget, we have to manually load a 308. If you have like a gun that shoots 5.56, you have to drag the bullets into the magazine in your inventory to then be able to load that magazine into your gun when you're holding it. Do we upgrade our shoes? Do we like shorts? Those don't have any extra slots, so we don't care about those. We'll take the cloth, the money, we'll read the book, and we have a can opener. We need a backpack, please. We'll check upstairs real quick. Slots, please. A wallet. So this is cool. So there is a really cool, there's a container game basically. So the wallet can hold currency and key cards. If we open that up, we can hold stacks and stacks of currency and key cards and all kinds of things in that single wallet slot. And there's like a lunchbox, a med kit, and they all do the same thing. You can even carry a smaller backpack in a bigger backpack, and that smaller backpack can have other containers. And those containers make more spaces of the space that they are in. So like you could have a storage container inside a backpack that's inside another backpack. It's stupid. In fact, let me show here. I'll do this. We'll quick save and I will load up quit to main menu. I'll show you what I'm working with in my other character. I feel like this game is particularly quiet. Wait a minute. So where is this audio coming out? Desktop. Okay, I'm going to turn up that to like a 4.8. Okay, so if I load, was it John Doe at the Bandit Camp? It's this one? Let me see if it's this one. I don't know. I was running around with a guy earlier today at lunch. It's very chill too. Like, so like where DayZ, I totally get. Like, Adia said you got killed right away, right? Like, this is a fun little, it's a slice of the DayZ experience without the toxicity of the shoot on sight humanity involved. So let me show you what I got here. So I've got a tent on the ground here. I can interact with that, and you can see in my tent I've got my other backpack because this is the one I'm wearing has 60 slots. There's all kinds of space here in my Coyote backpack, right? So forget all the other stuff for a minute. This is just my backpack. Now in the tent is another backpack, and if I open that up, there's another tent in here. There's a water jug. There's all this stuff. Okay, but if you look over here, In this 3x3 spot is a dry bag in my backpack. And if I open that up, it's actually a 4x6 slot, but it's organized in that bag. Now you can put anything that you want in there as long as it fits. And then there's like a medical specific pouch that can hold medical stuff. There's a materials specific pouch that can hold materials. There's one that can hold food and water and raw steak and can openers. And then the jacket itself that I'm wearing has slots. The pants have cargo. I have a container like in a slot here that allows me to like carry other stuff. My hunter's vest that I've picked up also has a bunch of slots, so I have all my ammo stacked up in here. And like I said, you have to like drag the ammo to an empty magazine to then have that mag available. But now when I go out and about, like I've got my guns. You know, I've got room to pick up all kinds of stuff. I've got all kinds of med supplies. I got my food and water. And we can just do some different runs. So that's what I've been doing. And you can let me show you here real quick. So I've just got a tent, radio, garbage can. But the crafting workbench lets you craft other things, and then you can craft weapons, an armor workbench, a disassembly, a construction workbench. And I don't entirely know what all the construction and structure stuff you can do. But it's very fun so far. It's got a lot of different difficulty settings, so I could recommend it to a very wide group of people. I think that was over this way. Helicopter just crashed in the valley. That will usually have some good supplies in it if you can find it. Although I think it needs smoke or something to lead you there a little better, especially in a single player experience. But this is a little town you can come across. There are vehicles. There's deers over here. So we're going to switch to our hunting rifle. Got him. It's coming right for us. Okay, so we can just throw it into our regular inventory, or we can also arrange it into those other slots, which is nice. But it's chill. Like if you wanted, you could just like, it could be a hunting game on easy. You could just run around a voxel world and set up a tent and explore like a basic survival experience. If you want to fight some simple zombies, they're there. If you want like crushing nightmare difficulty, it's there too. So for like, I don't know, for like $8 or something, maybe even less on the Steam Summer Sale right now, I would recommend this one. It's been fun for me so far. If a single player DayZ type run around seems okay, with the potential again for I think I saw co-op, but I want to say like multiplayer may have been mentioned too. So like, if it was true DayZ, that's one thing. Like, it's not like I want this. I'd like maybe some missions or quests. That'd be cool. Some more things around the world, but there's a pretty sizable map. And then there's like radiation zones, so you have to gear up and like get, you know, a better mask or hazmat suit or whatever to explore certain areas, like the more denser things off to the edge of the map. So that is Surrounded. I highly recommend it. Why do you refuse to look at the camera? I want you to look at the camera. No. Okay, fine. Fine, be that way. Quit. No, the map is not procedural. I think that the loot is, and I think the loot refreshes. I think the loot refreshes like every in-game day, but I could be wrong. Like you can go, I think you can go farm the same place again. But there's definitely a lot of potential in that one, for sure. Yeah, can you say Steam is not great about telling you how expensive a game is that you've already purchased. It's $11.99 right now. I would still recommend it at $11.99. It's good. I've enjoyed it. And they are still updating it. Few remnants of civilization left. Open world zombie survival game. Fight zombies. Oh, there are human survivors with guns as well. AI, but humans with guns that you have to fight against. Bandits, they're called. Vehicles to manage and maintain. Different firearms, melee, clothing, equipment. Trade with survivors and hideouts. Barricade buildings or find yourself somewhere in the wilderness to escape to. Weather and day and night cycles. Plan features. Online multiplayer survival with player run servers. I would totally run around on a server with you guys. Quest and bounty system. That'll be cool. Story system linking into the quests. Vehicle customization, farming. So would it lend itself very well to multiplayer just like DayZ? Yes. Would it also potentially be toxic and horrible? Yes. So I hope that they give you a co-op option. And if they have online multiplayer with player run servers, I would assume you can do private servers. And I would totally run one for a more chill experience. But really fun game so far. Surrounded. Highly recommend. I hope it comes to consoles and things. Like it seems like it would be a fun thing if they could develop it. I don't know if there's plans for it though. Yeah, top comment. Co-op needed, multiplayer can wait. I would agree. All right, where are we at? 11:54. Perfect. Let's call it. I will probably be back tomorrow. I'm not 100% certain. It is vacation week. And it is my daughter's birthday week. She's turning 9 on Tuesday. So we got a pool party next week. We're going into the city to hit up the Museum of Science and the New England Aquarium. So it should be fun. But I don't know for sure, like, when we're staying up late and doing... Yeah, right? 9. You're sending one off to college this year, though, so, like... It seems like just yesterday she was building tunnels under my base in Minecraft. Sneaky little Among Us sussers. Anyways, I don't know for sure. Like, I've been trying to do Fridays, Saturdays, and I totally might, but I also totally might get distracted and get involved in whatever Minecraft shenanigans they were doing. The screaming sounded funny. But I'll find out what I missed. Find out what you missed. Catch up on live streams. Occasional videos from time to time. AI Attenborough most recently, if you haven't checked it out. But yeah, I don't know. Fridays, Saturdays are the usual streams, but if they are not over this weekend, next weekend, you know why. We're on the path to 1 billion. I hope you had fun tonight. Thanks for tuning in, being part of the chat, being silly, and stop by the Discord. Dia posted the link. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a good night and a fantastic weekend. I will probably see you tomorrow, but if I don't, either way, subscribe for more. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, it's Move the Mouse signing off. Have a good one, everybody.